Good evening. I'd like to open the planning board meeting for Wednesday, July 13th, 2016, promptly at 7 p.m. In attendance, we have Marcia Wagner, clerk of the board. We have new member Pam Humphrey, member Mark Marziotti, member, and our interim town planner, Dominique. For this evening, since we do not have our chairman or vice chairman, I will actually be acting chairman for this meeting and this meeting only. So let's move into the agenda. The first item is election of new board chairman, vice chairman, and clerk. We've elected as a board to pass over this item at this point until we actually can fill the board. So we have a seat that was vacated by the former chairman, Guy Horn, and Pam Humphrey has stepped up. So welcome, Pam.
Thank you.
We appreciate your contribution to the town, and look forward to working with you on the board.
Thank you.
And then our vice chairman, Tom Holt, has asked for a temporary leave of absence from the board. We're not sure exactly how long that will be. However, we've decided as a board that we will temporarily replace Tom until he's ready to come back and join the board. And we will be talking about some folks that may be interested in this spot. So that's gives us details about the board and where we sit at this point. Moving to item 2, appointment of CMRPC Planning Board delegate. And currently, Marcia is our delegate, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess at this point, Marcia, if you are so inclined and comfortable, based on the condition of the board, if you will, I think certainly the information that you have brought to the board from the CMRPC, certainly your availability in attending and surely your interest, my recommendation is that we appoint you for another year to CMRPC Planning Board delegate if you're so inclined.
Yeah, okay, I accept.
Okay. So I don't know if that needs to be in the form of a motion, but...
Let's make a motion just in case.
Okay.
May I interject? Perhaps there's also an opportunity to appoint an alternate if either of you would like to serve as the alternate in the event that Marcia is not able to attend.
Okay. I'm not able to. I'm not sure if Pam has any interest.
It's usually during the daytime, or?
It varies. A lot of them are during the day. Some of them are evening meetings.
I could be the delegate for the times that I could go, if you weren't available.
Okay.
Or if you'd prefer, I guess if we want to wait to see how the seats fill and depending on the availability of another board member, that way we don't have an interim and an interim.
That makes a lot of sense.
But certainly respect your interest and willingness to go on the board, be an interim delegate. That's great. All right. So would you make sure that gets onto our agenda for our next meeting if the board actually gets filled to fill that interim delegate? Thank you. Okay. Item C is approval of the meeting minutes.
We need a motion.
Oh,
just in
right.
case.
Yeah, good point. So we started talking about Marcia and the great job she's done as the current delegate, and I had recommended that she be the CMRPC Planning Board delegate, and I so move.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous? Okay, great. Thank you for that reminder. See, I'm very stale. Okay, moving on to C now. Approval of the minutes for May 23rd, 2016 and May 11th, 2016.
Included with this is also the meeting notes from the Wednesday, June 22nd meeting, at which time we did not have a quorum. So, just for your
Okay.
review.
Did everyone have an opportunity to read the minutes?
I did not read the June 22nd minutes, but they look pretty brief.
And those don't require a
Those are right
vote,
here.
so
Oh, they don't require a vote anyway.
Where are the minutes? I'm sorry.
So they're under B.
Under B?
the C? C?
Oh, C.
See?
My B.
Sorry.
It's
I
okay.
did glance over this.
Yeah. So what we're looking for is a motion to approve, and we can do it separately or as a group, or group them together, for the minutes of May 23rd and May 11th. We do not need to approve the minutes of the May 22nd meeting where we didn't have a quorum. So since I am acting chairman, I did have an opportunity to read the minutes of May 23rd and May 11th, and I would like to group both of those together and make a motion to approve.
So moved.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of May 23rd and May 11th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. Okay. Moving on to D, we originally had on our agenda the Economic Development Committee reappointment of Alan LaPrise, but we were told that she was not available tonight, so we're going to ask that we put that on a future agenda for our next meeting or when Ellen is available. Item E, discussion of interim planning board appointment. So as I had mentioned in the earlier tonight, that we have essentially a seat open. At this point, Sean is absent from this evening, but currently holds a seat. So we really have one seat that's open, and again, it's a temporary seat. I guess I'll ask the board if there's anyone that they may have in mind for someone who would be interested in sitting in that seat for a temporary time frame.
I can't think of anybody.
I spoke with someone who had some interest. I will let him know that we did get an email today explaining how that position will work. It will be an interim, and they will stay in that position once our vacant member returns. So that person will remain as an interim planning board appointee. So
For 1 year, right?
for 1 year, yes, until they can be be elected. So I don't want to name that person until I have
That's
a
fine.
chance to discuss it further.
So just for clarification purposes, if we were to name, and I guess I'm asking our planner, and I'm not sure if you know or maybe can find out for us, Dominique, but based on the information that you shared with us today, if we find somebody who's interested in taking the spot vacated temporarily by Mr. Holt, the person who is sworn in and accepts the position will need to remain on the board for 1 year, regardless of when Mr. Holt comes back.
Yes, but when Mr. Holt is available, that person will not attend. They'll serve as his alternate.
Okay. Okay. Great. So that was the point of clarification. So they would not be in attendance at the meeting unless Mr. Holt was not available.
Correct.
Okay. Perfect. Great. All right. I also have somebody in mind, and I have had a conversation with this person, and with the new information that we received today, I will share that as well and see if possibly this person might be interested in joining. And obviously, we'll have to stay in touch so we don't have too many people, which usually isn't an issue, but.
No, that's it, yeah.
Okay, great. Any comments, questions on that? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move forward to item F. Pierpont Estates proposed site plan modification. Good evening.
Good evening. How is everybody tonight?
Good, how are you?
Good.
If you could make sure you please sign in and then just let us know who you are and who you represent, that'd be great.
Forgot to provide a sign-in sheet.
So my name is Andrew Baum from Summit Engineering and Survey. We're here on the behalf of Depot Road Charlton LLC. He's a project proponent for Pierpont Estates. I don't know if anybody of the board is familiar with that project. It's a residential subdivision located off of the northwest side of Pierpont Pond. The subdivision was approved in 2006 and is currently under construction. And the proponent requested that we review a portion of the road that has not been constructed yet to alter the vertical alignment, the elevation of the road slightly to reduce the amount of ledge excavation that he's encountering on that site. And he also asked us, which let me finish signing in. So he, if you're not familiar with the site, but Pierpont Road is actually located out to the west of this plan out here, and the subdivision consists of one main entrance that comes up and then essentially loops around and then comes back onto itself with a couple of dead-end cul-de-sacs on it. The road has been constructed up to Castle Circle, and then it has also been constructed at this intersection here. So the portion that he is looking to modify is this portion of the road, and the stationing of the roadway is identified in the cover letter. We are not proposing any horizontal alignment change, no lot line changes, no easement changes, just a vertical adjustment for the cut and fill. And then the other component is there is a final wetland crossing located here. In the original or the approved design plans, the crossing is the full width of the right-of-way. It's 50 feet wide, so it comes up with a retaining wall with a box culvert to cross the wetlands, along with sidewalks and whatnot. And what he would like to do or propose to the board is narrow that down to a 40-foot wide crossing area. Now, there's no alteration to the width of the pavement for traffic. We're still providing a sidewalk. We're just showing a slight adjustment or jog in the sidewalk where the retaining wall comes in. So we're requesting the board accept this as a minor engineering change, and then obviously our next step concerning the crossing would be to modify the permit with the Conservation Commission and DEP for the crossing. What we did do or provide for the board is This is a vertical profile, so if you took the center line of the roadway and laid it out flat, you can see where the elevation of the roadway is. So what's happening here, this low point is where that crossing is, and then this location here is about where the end of the constructed road is. The green dash line indicates the approved center line alignment, so how steep the roads are, and also indicating what your site distances are. And then this upper red line indicates what we're proposing from a grading perspective. And as you can see, the center line grades and the site distances are still well within what was approved in the subdivision for site distance and maximum slope, and they are still within or below the requirements for the subdivision control bylaw. This other line work here is indicative of the existing grades for the center line and then on either side of the right-of-way. And I can bring this up to the board if they want to see it a little more up close. And you can see where there was quite a bit of cut proposed on this vertical alignment. This brings it up, and we reduced the amount of cut that's occurring. Obviously some increased fill areas here. But again, the overarching objective was to reduce the amount of ledge or blasting that would need to occur on the subdivision. And then lastly, if anyone on the board was concerned, we made sure that when we graded this site out, that we had reasonable access to all the lots for driveways. So there is no extreme cuts or fills or anything like that that would render a lot unusable. There's a location along all the frontage locations to get reasonable access onto the site. I know my counterpart had been here about a month ago. I don't know who was here or not. But
Her first name was Maureen
Maureen Finley, yep.
Finley?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So, and there wasn't a quorum.
All right, sorry for that.
That's okay. That's I understand.
Yep.
I'm a zoning board of appeal member in my town, and we're struggling with the same thing, trying to find people. So that's the overarching proposal.
Mm-hmm.
Our first stop was obviously to you to accept this as a minor engineering change, and then, like I said, naturally our next step would be to the commission for the crossing.
Okay. Questions?
Is this the existing road already? There are already houses built there?
No.
This is going in further into it?
Yes. So this subdivision was built in pieces.
Mm-hmm.
The main entrance off of Pierpont Road comes in up here. This road is constructed to about here, and then there's an intersection that comes down and it loops up and ceases here, and then there's two or three, I don't recall exactly, short cul-de-sacs that come off of that roadway. So this is the last loop to interconnect all that, and then consequently the final sets of lots.
Where on the green trail is that the alteration to reduce the need for doing the ledge? Where on that green spot is where does that correspond with the map
Sure.
behind it?
Yep. Most predominantly here. Most of the alteration, the biggest vertical change is at the top of this hill, which corresponds to here.
Okay.
And I should, just for the board's comfort, is we mimicked because the way the site drains is a high point in the roadway, and then a portion of it drains around this way, and another portion drains in this direction, and then it ultimately goes in the drainage system. Centerline high point has been kept the same. So all that would happen for drainage would be we would just have to raise the structures up in concert with the roadway, but we're not altering how much goes to which portion of the site. Mm-hmm. We're trying to be very careful to not, have to get into the weeds too much on changing a lot of the infrastructure there or the design.
So the bell curve that you're showing us there behind that map, right at the bottom there, you're saying is where that waterway is, right?
This is the crossing, correct?
Okay. And then this road actually progresses up, and then it actually makes a turn to the left, right?
Correct.
And then that's the highest point of that green trail,
Yep.
the green road, all right. And then at some point, does it come back down to this level here? After it makes the turn, comes down the hill?
Comes down the hill.
Yeah,
Um,
not that side, the other side, yeah,
Side?
yeah.
Yeah, it will tie into the edge of pavement as it's
Okay.
constructed over here.
So is that where the road ends? Is that where
Yeah,
Pierpont
it's-
is now?
It's right off
Okay,
the page here.
All right.
That's where the Castle Circle.
okay. What is the linear measurement from the green dotted line to the, that one, the top line?
Yep. So these are 4-foot intervals, so we got about a 6-foot change at the most.
Okay.
vertically.
All right. And your original blueprint, your original site plan document that identified the roadway, is that green line?
The green line is the approved subdivision plan. So
Okay.
the subdivision we didn't prepare the subdivision, so I can't speak to
Right.
how they came to that design
Right.
scenario. But this is what had been approved going through.
Okay.
So
So the modification you're looking to make is from that green line to the new line?
correct. Yep,
Okay.
the reddish line
And it's about 6 feet at its highest point?
at its highest point. Correct.
All right. And the line of sight for traffic and all that sort of stuff is within,
It's set up for a 35-mile-an-hour design standard, 30 or 35 miles.
okay,
But these are indicated on the top. So the lower portion
yeah,
is the geometry that was on the approved. So just for your edification, they had a theoretical site distance of 249 linear feet.
okay,
I think it's 200 feet for that speed zone.
okay,
And we provided 232 linear feet.
okay. Do you know if Graves Engineering has had a chance to look at this?
I do
new-
not. I don't know if it
No,
had been passed.
they have
to
not.
them.
No. Okay. Let's see, what else did I have? So that's one change, this hill,
Correct.
and the reason behind it is because there's ledge,
There's-
and it would save the contractor considerable amount of money to not remove it.
Well, there's a cost associated with ledging. Obviously, there's a cost associated or a comfort association for all the residents in that subdivision of having to contend with ledge removal or rock removal. So those-
Meaning if it costs more to put a road in, then the lot costs are going to go up? Is that what you mean?
No, I mean, they've already purchased their lots.
Okay.
I'm saying just listen to a rock hammer for the
Oh, I
winter or
see,
summer,
yeah.
that type of
Yeah,
convenience, yeah,
okay.
or consideration.
And so that's the first piece, and then I also heard you say down by the culvert area, the water area,
Yep.
you indicated that that road is going to, not narrow, but you said that the sidewalk is going to be reduced?
No, the sidewalk would maintain the same width, but
Okay.
right now, the current cross-section has the pavement, curbing, I believe it's a 5 or 4.5 foot wide grass strip, and then the sidewalk.
Mhm.
In order to maintain the center line alignment of the roadway,
Yeah,
we just jogged the sidewalk against the edge of pavement and then jogged it back out.
okay. And so what, you lost the grass strip between the roadway and the sidewalk?
Correct,
All right.
correct.
And is that a safety issue?
I don't think so.
Okay. Is that grass strip buffer, is that mandatory in building roads?
It's not mandatory.
No?
I mean, it's the way it's described or detailed in the subdivision control,
Okay.
but it's not a mandatory condition.
Okay.
My question is, do we generally have our engineer check for us before we make a decision like this, or is it up to us?
I think that as long as it complies with the, subdivision rules, it shouldn't be an issue. I did ask that question. I just don't know enough about it, not being an engineer. However, you guys have been here without a quorum, and there's been a huge delay, and I don't want to delay it. So my opinion is that I don't see any other issues other than the two that I raised, and they're not issues, but just wanted, a gut check and verification, is that we would, personally, I would like to move forward with approving this, just making sure that we get a sign-off from Graves on a couple, whatever points we feel as though we need to. That way, it doesn't hold it up. If Graves says, yeah, it's no problem, then it's good to go. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, the one thing I would request, if you could phase it, just on the behalf of the applicant, identify them as two separate issues. I mean, he would ideally like to begin constructing from this portion up and around. It'll be a while, and actually we have the commission to go through with that as well. So if Graves is okay with the vertical alignment, but then says, well, we'd like to look at this crossing in more detail.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't like this to, or prefer, if it's okay with the board,
Sure.
to hinge on the
Hold
two.
up.
I mean, we're really not altering any grading vertically.
Yeah,
There's very little. It's like
right.
6 inches of change on the crossing, catching up.
No, that's
So-
less of a concern for me personally,
Yep.
is that change. It's the change where the grass strip goes away and the sidewalk is closer to the street.
Yeah.
And again, I'm sure it's, if you didn't have a grass strip on this entire thing, it would be okay, but,
Well, one thing we could review, is in maintaining the same objective. I held the center line, but we could offset this in concert and maintain a grass strip. If that was more of a concern with the commission or Graves too. Still make the same objective of reducing the width of the impact over the wetland.
mhm. Yeah, again, I don't want to make you jump through hoops that you don't need to, and so if it's okay, if it meets the guidelines that we need it to meet, the way it is, the way you have it, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But just need that kind of verification from
That's fine.
from Graves. So, we can look at this two different ways. We can, it would be a motion to approve, the kind of the entire piece, and then we would ask those two questions. But we would get an answer fairly quickly, and you being an engineer, I'm sure you know that Graves is not going to have an issue with it, or they are, and if they are, you wouldn't be
Right.
standing here, so.
No, yeah, we wouldn't be asking, especially in the
right.
middle of construction, to be
Right,
crazy
exactly.
to try to stall it. without-
So that's just more of a comfort level for us, just because I don't have the
No,
degree you do.
that's okay.
Yeah,
That's,
okay,
you guys are volunteers.
for sure. All right.
Through the chair,
Yeah.
how will we pay Graves for the peer review?
I believe we have, there should be an account
Okay.
where there's some funds that this subdivision has put some money.
Okay,
So
great.
I'm not sure how that procedure works, whether it's alerting, the owner of the subdivision or the applicant that we're going to move forward to do this or not. I don't know how that works. But
Okay. Thank you.
But again, I think it's a very quick, and I don't think it will take much time at all for them to evaluate those two points. So I guess the motion that I'd be entertaining is that we approve this, site plan modification that Summit Engineering and Survey have proposed for the roadway regrading plan at Pierpont Estates, Dudley, Mass. I can't really see a book or page, but, just make it contingent upon approval from Graves for the two changes, the modification of the elevation of the hill and the loss of the grass strip in the lower area of the road. And I so move, I guess.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, unanimous. All right.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks. Yeah, sorry that you had to wait so long. It's not our intention, for sure. I want to make it easy. All righty. So, Dominique, I guess I would ask that you prepare the information so that we can ask Graves maybe tomorrow?
I will do my best. I have a proposal due tomorrow, but I will, it'll either be tomorrow or Friday.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, and then they're usually pretty quick, so I'm guessing by early next week, if you want to check in with our interim planner, she hopefully will, I don't know if you call or email or however, what would be best for you?
Either one, and actually I should be, there's no reason I can't get to that tomorrow. It'll only take a moment. So, thank you, Andy.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You too.
Two.
Two.
Okay. And then, last item G, is town planner position. So, the last two nights, the folks in front of you, and on Monday night, Sean Gearing also joined us for interviews for the three final candidates for the part-time town planner position. And we had some spirited discussions, and we are close to making our recommendation, certainly to the town administrator. And hopefully we'll have some information on that soon. Moving to item H, planner's plate. Dominique, I don't know if you have anything or not.
Just a few items, fairly standard few weeks, except for the planning board vacancy and town planner interviews. However, several weeks ago, the owner of Linda Vista Lane contacted the planning office inquiring about requesting a site plan approval extension potentially. She was under the impression that her approvals expire on August 8th, 2016. In fact, the planning board approved Linda Vista Lane site plan on August 8th, 2012, which means that the subdivision is subject to the Permit Extension Acts of 2010 and 2012, which automatically extend for 4 years beyond their application date any permit or approval that was in effect. So, which means that Linda Vista Lane site plan approvals expire August 8th, 2018, in my opinion. She was looking for the board to ratify that.
Okay.
I have conferred with my supervisor and my colleagues, and they, who are experienced with it, and they do agree.
So where does the added 2 years come from? I'm just,
So in 2010 and 2012, I guess the legislature enacted the Permit Extension Act. So any permits or approvals that were in effect in a specified time frame, they're automatically extended for 4 years beyond their original extension date. So if her subdivision was supposed to expire on August 8th, 2014, which means that extending that expiration date 4 years means it expires in 2018. And therefore, in my opinion, she won't need to even request an extension from the board.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
The rationale behind that was more economic because of the downturn in the economy where it was more difficult to sell properties in a subdivision. So rather than having them continue to come back and
Again and again and again. Okay.
Moving on June 21st, we received written notification that the owner of the Corbin Road property intends to sell the property under discussion to the Islamic Society of Greater Worcester for $287,000. A purchase and sale agreement has been executed. The town administrator and the other departments are keyed in on that. And interim planning services, as you either know or may have figured out, the contract for interim planning services with CMRPC has been extended through up through potentially July 31st of this year, adding 4 weeks. So we'll give you a little buffer in terms of overlap or whatever you need in terms of the person that you choose to go with. I do need something signed, the Worcester Registry of Deeds paperwork, which just provides them an update of who is on our board. Pam, I'll need your signature on this. I have all of yours. Actually, I also need it for A&Rs, so if I could pass that around, that would be excellent. So I need the number of signatures required, and then each of you to fill out. And Pam, I also need you to fill out the top part.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Was that all you had?
Just one piece of good news. We did discover an uncashed check from Cumberland Farms from 2012, and they reissued it. I forget, it was maybe $2,000, something like that.
Good.
So those are my only pressing points.
That was buried under some papers, huh?
Tucked away somewhere.
That hopefully won't
Oh.
happen anymore.
No. I do, it's a separate agenda item, but I do also need some payments authorized. So,
Which we signed some documents the other night, but they're additional.
there are additional, and also, I don't think we had the chair sign them exactly.
Okay.
So the one that has not been examined by any of you is the CMRPC annual assessment, which I received today. It is for fiscal year 2017 to the Central Massachusetts Regional Planning Commission. This is Dudley's share of dues to the Planning Commission based on population. It's for $3,028.90.
Okay. And how does that number align with the line item budget for that? Obviously, it's budgeted. Have you looked at that?
I'm sorry? Can you?
So the planning board budget obviously accounts for that expense.
I'm not sure if it is the planning board.
Okay. And why are we signing it?
I'm not sure. I'll check in. I'll look into it before we do anything.
Yeah, if it is something that you need our signature on, my recommendation would be it's got to be a line item budget,
Okay.
an item on the budget, the planning board budget.
Okay.
And so let's just make sure that
Okay.
it's close or aligns, or I'd certainly like to know what the difference is.
Okay.
All right.
And then if, as our acting chair, you could authorize a payment to Stonebridge Press for the warden articles for the planning board for annual town meeting, and also the invoice for the town planner position, that would be excellent.
Okay. Now, we signed 2 Stonebridge Press last night, right? Were they the same ones? Not last night, but maybe Monday night?
No, it was last night.
Last night.
Last night.
Yes, technically, we didn't have anybody acting.
Oh, I see. So they weren't legitimate.
Correct.
Okay.
So if we could re-execute them.
Okay,
maybe put a
okay.
date
I
next to
misunderstood.
them,
All
would
right.
be excellent.
No problem. That makes sense.
Sorry.
Okay, these have our signature on them. Do you want us to re-sign them?
If just the chair, just the acting chair for this evening is all, and maybe sign and date would be perfect.
Okay.
I think that should do it.
I don't know what the dates are for that.
It's today
Um,
the 13th?
Huh?
It's today the 13th?
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't know when I was appointed. I kind of lose track of that.
I'll look into that with Aura.
All right. So I signed it. You can just fill in the dates
Oh.
if you wouldn't mind.
Today is
Perfect.
the 13th.
Is that your list?
Yes, that's
Okay.
my list.
So, can you share some more information about the Corbin Road Cemetery? I didn't quite understand what you had mentioned
Sure.
about that.
So included in, I guess, item J, wherever the town planner report is, if you want to flip to the purchase and sale agreement, it is included with the materials.
Okay.
Does this
But-
have to be, I'm sorry. Does this have to be the exact day that we were elected or sworn in?
If you want to leave that part blank and sign it, I can have the dates filled in for you by the town clerk.
Can't quite
Sure, of
remember.
course.
So, yeah, you said that, so just restate what you had said regarding the Corbin Road Cemetery, if you wouldn't mind.
Certainly. So simply, we were CC'd essentially on this purchase and sale agreement as notification that the owners of the Corbin Road property have reached a purchase and sale agreement with the Islamic Society of Greater Worcester for an amount of $287,000. This is a notice of intent to follow through with that agreement
Okay.
at this time.
And when was that executed?
That was executed on June 14th, 2016.
Okay.
And received by us on June 22nd.
I believe that's been addressed and noted at two planning board, I'm sorry, not planning board, Board of Selectmen meetings this past Monday
Okay.
and maybe 2 weeks prior.
So it's not new information necessarily. Everything is still the same as far as the condition of that approval.
Yes.
Thank you. I just thought there was a change to it. That's what I misunderstood. All right, great. Thank you for that report, Dominique.
Certainly.
We will move to item I, which are comments from the planning board. I don't know if any of the planning board members have comments.
I have none.
Don't either.
Okay. And I don't have any either. However, I don't know if we have interest in speaking about the last two evenings' interviews and possible recommendations based on the information that was shared with us from Dominique today regarding the reference that we received from one of the applicants.
Well, I guess I can say that we have the three remaining applicants are very strong applicants. They all offer what we're looking for, so it's making it a hard decision. We received information on reference on one of the applicants that was very positive. I need some time to think about it.
Okay. And you can be candid in who you decide as well, I would imagine, but I just wanted to open it up while we were in public. I don't know if you have any comments or care to share anything.
I was very impressed with the references that came in today,
Okay.
and the fact that, can we mention the person's name?
Sure. Yeah, it was a public interview.
But it was, Don Johnson. He was the recommendations were very, very positive, and the fact that he reached out a few times to us, and thanked us, I was very impressed by that also. I mean, I think all three of them were very impressive candidates. I really do. But
Okay.
Now, given it's a part-time position, I'm impressed with the caliber of applicants we have.
Absolutely. Okay. I do as well. I was very close to making a decision last night, but I have, with all of the final pieces brought together, I have made up my mind about who I would support. And I'm not going to mention who it is because I don't want to influence any of the other board members. So I will share that information with Dominique, and you guys can feel free to do that as well when you're ready. And then she can share that information with the town administrator, and their recommendations coupled with ours, I would imagine, would probably lead to an offer to one of the applicants. Okay. Great. No audience, so we don't have any comments there. Other business, Village District Walk. Dominique, want to give us an update on that? I know.
So that has been postponed. That was recently postponed due to some attendance issues. I know that we had discussed that it would be ideal to wait to hold the village district site walk until we have the full board established. So if you'd like to continue postponing that, I don't see any reason at this time to move forward with it.
Great.
I agree.
I agree as well. Pam, you in agreement?
I mean, yeah.
Great. Okay, we just approved the vouchers. You are going to look into that CMRPC voucher, thank you.
Absolutely.
And other town notices.
General notices from Oxford, Charlton, and Webster. They nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay.
So.
Great.
I did have a chance to, let's see, we call it, the amount we're billed from CMRPC, that $3,028. It is consistent with prior years, if that's your question. It's about $50 more than
Okay.
previous years.
And do you know if that's something that the planning board signed off on before?
I don't know how we execute it.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, not really the amount, but while you're checking, I would like to benchmark it against last year's amount, and if in fact it's a planning board purview to sign, I guess. I don't remember signing that.
Okay.
So I guess I just want to make sure that it's proper.
No problem.
All right. And we don't have to wait if you want. Let us know once you find out, and we'll try to come down. I don't think it has to be, since we don't have a chairman, it probably can be any two board members.
Okay. Excellent.
So, all right. All right,
Can I
great.
ask a quick question,
Yeah.
going back to the town planner position? How long do we have till we have to give Dominique an answer? Do we, should it be like tomorrow, Friday?
I don't know that that's been identified, but
Sooner the better.
I would recommend you take your time, make sure we make the right decision, so we don't have to do this again. I guess I guess maybe Dominique can check with Mr. Valiakonis to see if there's a time frame in which they want to tender an offer.
Okay. I can do that.
But I would think that, it's Wednesday. I would think if you had a reply by Friday, it would probably be acceptable. or sooner.
Okay. One more question about that. Who decides the salary? Because there was the salary range. Do we have to discuss that, or does the town manager do that, or?
Yeah, I would think that the town administrator would probably be the one to, to determine what that is. The resumes speak for themselves regardless of ever seeing a candidate. You can kind of tell who has experience and who doesn't, and it would definitely be based on experience.
Mm-hmm.
How much information you have, how much knowledge you have, how many towns you plan for, and all that sort of stuff. So I think that'd probably be a pretty easy thing, but usually the negotiations are left up to the town administrator.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? Dominique?
Nothing for me.
Okay. Well, I want to just personally thank you two board members for your time this week, Monday and Tuesday, and now Wednesday on these summer nights. So anyway.
It's a good way to get my feet wet.
Yeah.
Just jump right in.
It's good. It's good. It shows the dedication of the board, and it's really refreshing. So we hope that we can fill the seats once again and continue in that vein. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. We've got a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Thank you, Fred.